Hey, even before we get going, I have to remind you, because I forgot to put it in my update, so I'm going to put it up front here. Go and sign up for the Eau Claire Marathon, Eau Claire Half Marathon, Eau Claire Relay, Eau Claire 5K in May right now, because every single registration that signs up today, Monday, September 23rd, $1 of that will go towards Brave Like Gabe Foundation. $1 of that will go towards Brave Like Gabe Foundation. If you need more information about that, www.bravelikegabe.com. And here is your normal programming with an update from this last week. Goodbye. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Adam Conda. This is Blue Ox Running. This is not a weekly update. This is an update. I'm updating you about our update before, okay? So here's kind of our final out brief of what's happened in the last 6 days, right? 6 days ago, last Tuesday. Today is Monday, September 23rd. 6 days ago, on Tuesday, I put out a challenge to everybody to either donate $50 or come run 50 miles with me at the Goosebumps 6-hour run that happened on Saturday. So I want to give you an update. It happened. The race happened. We have all of our pledges in, and I want to give you all the final numbers and everything like that. So first of all, I absolutely did not run 50 miles in these 6 hours. I had a little bit of a rough go in the second half of that. The first 3 hours were going great and swimmingly, as they say, and the last half was very difficult. I was puking a lot, and my system and my nutrition and the cramping and the humidity and the conditions all caught up to me kind of at the same time, at about that 3.5 hour mark. So we certainly have to pony up here at Blue Ox Running, pay some of the pledges here. I did kind of look through all my pledges. I have my spreadsheet up here again. I did look through all the pledges, and there was an option for us to cover your pledge. There's an option that you're just going to give anyway. We don't have to cover the pledge. And then there's an option for, yes, we're going to give anyway, but we still want you to cover the pledge if you don't run the 50 miles. So we're doing all that. And I have some final numbers for you, but I'm not going to give them to you quite yet. I wanted to just give you two things that I walked away with on Saturday. Some of you were following the race. Some of you saw my update, and I shared it on our Instagram and our Facebook as well. So the race did not go as planned. It hurt and was a little bit more difficult than I expected, for sure, in that second half. I got some people asking, like, did you really think you could run 50 miles, or was this just kind of for a challenge and to put it out there? I absolutely thought I was going to run 50 miles. I thought I was going to run more like 53 or 52 based on how my training has been going. I did run 6:08 in a 50 miler back in 2013 on a harder course. My fitness lately has been great. I got a good summer of training in. I thought I was absolutely ready to go. And I honestly think fitness-wise, I still am ready to do what I intentionally went out there to do. There's 100 things we could maybe talk about with humidity and training and going out a little too hard and not feeling like I was running conservative enough, and a handful of things that I'm still trying to wrap my mind around with why things went so poorly. I still have to work on my nutrition. It's something I've always struggled with in ultras, for sure. Sometimes what works in a marathon does not work in an ultra. Sometimes what works on a cold or dry day has no bearing on what's going to work on a humid day. So there's all those logistical details that I still want to investigate and figure out and see how I can do better next time. But I wanted to share with you two things. At my worst feeling, where I puked about 5 times right in front of my wife, and I was ready to just be done, just nauseous and dizzy, and just kind of had my hands on my knees looking down at my shoes. I literally just, the only thing that could go through my mind was, I just want to take these shoes off and get in the van. I just want to be done. I really want to quit. And maybe you don't hear that from runners in the front of the pack or the middle of the pack or the back of the pack, but I think we need to actually tell each other when things are really bad, because social media and Instagram and Facebook and all that is full of everyone's best day. and everyone's best picture on the workout that they just crushed and the race that they just ran well. But I think we need to be a little bit more transparent sometimes about when we hate running. And I had a couple moments out there where I really hated it. And I got to a place where I'm just looking at my shoes, and I won't forget this. There's a couple moments in each race I think that we'll always remember. And I just remember looking at my shoes, thinking, I want to take these things off, and I want to get in the van, and I want to be done. And almost instantaneously, from me thinking that, I knew I wasn't going to, because I remembered what we're raising money here for. And not just lupus, and not just cancer, and not just these causes, which are great causes, but when you put a face and a person's name to some of this, it's a little bit more real. So I thought of Justin Grunwald and what he's going through right now with his wife dying this year of cancer, and I thought of Richard Cruz, who I had met just that day, that morning, and how he's in a wheelchair out there cheering everyone on, he's going around the loop just like we are in his wheelchair. And he used to run all these races and ultra marathons and things like that. So I thought to myself, these two particular men and a ton of people else, I know a ton of other stories that are similar to these that I could name off, but we don't need to get into all the particulars. There is pain in people's lives that they just can't take off their shoes and be done with. They can't just say, I'm going to get in the van and I'm going to drive away from this, and that's going to be that. You can't choose your pain like that. And so here I am at a running race just choosing my pain. This is the most painful thing in my life at the moment. It's something that I'm choosing. So how can I post on Facebook that says relentless forward progress even in all of life, and then get in the van and be done with that race? How can I do that? I can't. I have to keep moving. I have to keep the shoes on. I have to keep pushing forward, because even at the end of the day, I had a rough couple hours, but it's done. It's Monday. I'm able to walk around. I'm done with my pain, and I knew when I would be done. So worst case for me, I just knew when I was going to be done with my pain, and that's not life. So that's kind of, I'm getting kind of preachy here. Holy cow. So I don't mean for this to drag on, but I did want to share out how difficult it was, but also how thankful I was in that moment. I put this on my last post. I'm thankful. I walk away incredibly thankful for this experience, because it actually showed me not how similar the pain of running a race like this is to real life. It's actually how different it is. A lot of times I think that, like, yes, we choose this pain, we overcome, and we build ourselves up for perseverance, and we gain these life skills through the art and the science of running for real life. But today and this week, I'm realizing in a different way, this is very unlike real life sometimes. So anyway, I'm just kind of rambling at this point, kind of processing it. I think I'll process it more as it goes on. The other thing that I wanted to share out was that my greatest and my most beautiful and best moments out there was running with my kids, which was right when I was feeling the most terrible as well. My oldest, Shane, he came out and ran a lap with me, and it was very moving for me, for him to kind of have his curly hair and his smile ready to go when I'm just feeling terrible. But I don't think we would have gone for a run that day, because it was, it was raining. It was about to be just kind of the worst conditions as the afternoon went on. That was during some of the rain. And so without this pain and struggle, I wouldn't have chosen it to be this way on the outset, but it ended up being a greater joy than what I would have maybe planned myself. So I walk away looking at that going, sometimes our greatest moments are unforeseen circumstances that we never would have put down as plan A, but right next to the darkest and deepest valleys can be some of the greatest light that I experienced that day. So take it for what it's worth. If you're struggling with something, if you feel like you can't control your pain, if you feel like you're down and there's no end in sight, sometimes the greatest light might be unforeseen, and it might kind of catch you by surprise, because I didn't expect my son to be there. I just thought I was in for it for the next couple hours, and it kind of woke me up a little bit, and I got going a little bit quicker, I think, because of it. So look for the little things that might catch you by surprise. Look for the big things as well that might catch you by surprise. And there is light even within the valleys. All right, here we go. Let me get you some numbers here. We started out gangbusters on those first 2 days. Those first 2 days were out of control. They were over $1,000 a piece, and then we had a little bit more, or we had a little bit coming in on each of the following days, and this is what we ended up with. We ended up with over 48 people or organizations giving money for over $2,500, and then we are going to be pledging, kind of double pledging a handful of those and covering some of the other pledges. So the final amount, when I add in Steve Wood's extra $25 that he's giving because he posted on Facebook, I passed him a handful of times, and he was in the porta potty for some of them, so he's just rounding up to another $25. We're coming up on, everything said and done, $2,950, and then we're going to throw in another $50 and make it an even $3,000 that we raised in 6 days. That's out of control. It triples our initial goal, and what we're going to do is split that between the two causes, because we also had a question on there: what organization do you prefer to support? A handful of people chose the Brave Like Gabe Foundation. A handful of people chose the Local Lupus Alliance, which is local to the La Crosse area down there with Richard Cruz. And then most people said either of the above, so we can split the money either way. And so we're looking through each one of these. We know a handful of money is going here. We know a handful of money is going here, and then we're going to split the rest, and it's going to be an even $1,500 between the two organizations. We're super excited about that. If you did pledge, watch your email in the next 48 hours. Watch your email in the next 48 hours. You will get more instructions on exactly how to pay your pledge. Okay, I have a couple here, actually more than a couple. I have a handful here that we'll still send you an email, but you don't need to do your pledge because we're filling your pledge. And then the rest of us here, we have all of your email addresses, and it should be pretty smooth sailing. So watch your email within the next 48 hours, and then I would say by the end of this week, make sure you get your payments in so everything is kind of wrapped up, and we support those fantastic foundations. Any questions, get at me, adam@blueoxrunning.com on email. You can get at me also just even in the comments to this video, and we will see you later. Thanks for following this week. It's been a really exciting week. We hope to give you kind of our normal wacky fun videos starting again even this week. We're going to be doing our group run on Thursday with 2-for-1 burgers when we finish at Court and House. And that's that. All right. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye, herd.